Hey guys, Clumsy here, and in this video we'll be checking out RPIE's Volvo FH 2012 with a gazillion customizing options. So yes, this is a massive mod with 53 chassis, 7 original and 44 additional included in this mod. So as you can see in the setup that I have in this truck, this is a tandem setup, yeah, and this is an own trailer, the one at the back. This is compatible with 1.32 as an own trailer, and we'll all check that out later on. But first, let's drive around for a bit and see how this truck feels, how it drives, and then we'll go into the customizing details, alright? I would want to point out as well that this truck in particular is modifying the default SCS truck, the default FH. So that means all the other mods that you have can also go hand in hand with it. And what I mean by that is, for example, the sounds that I have are from Grishboom Volvo stock sounds. That one. So by default, this mod by RPIE does not have any sounds actually, so it's just using whatever you have. But since I have Grishbooms, then that is what we're using right now. Also, you might have noticed a bit the interior. The interior is black, which is not usually the case when you're using a default SCS truck, and this is also not part of RPIE's mod, right? So that this dark interior is something that I downloaded from the Steam Workshop, and since it modifies the default SCS truck, then it also modifies this one by RPIE. You also notice that pretty cool looking hanging thing in there. It's a bit low poly, but that is part of the mod. So we'll check that out later, and it will be very easy to spot which areas are, which particular items are part of the mod and which are not, thanks to his icon. There is a specific icon for each of the mods that, for each of the options that was enabled by him. How is that trailer doing at the back? Oh, pretty heavy traffic in here, huh? Also, if anyone's wondering about the graphic settings, well, graphics mods, Foggy Weather 2.0, and the real gen, next gen textures. Bro. Thank you. To be honest, I was not sure that was going to work. Beautiful. I've been craving for going back to a Volvo for a long time now, and I'm happy that this truck came into view and that this is compatible with 1.32. It's exactly what I've been looking for. Now the only thing is, and I'll post the link in the video description, alright? The only thing is, there is a slight difference with how you download it. So you'll see the link in the video description as well as in the mods list. But the main problem, well, not really a problem, but something that might throw some people off, is if you go to the link, it will go to a website, his website, RPIE's website, and RPIE stands for, I hope I read this right, Ramon Pinoil Israel Enuya. I'm not sure which country he's from, but that's his name apparently, and it's RPIE, so that's the mod author's name. And he has a website where you can download this, but in order to download it, you have to register first. So you'll have to give your email and password to register to the site, and then you can download it. It's a very easy registration, like you'll only need to enter email and password, so no personal information. So in terms of security, it's not really bad, it's not scary. Although if you are a bit paranoid with the password, it is a secure site and everything like that, but if you're still paranoid about it, then maybe you can just enter a different password. Make sure it's different from the other passwords you have in other sites, so it can't be linked back to you. So essentially, I think what he's doing is he is like building an email list, which is very common in businesses. So I can definitely understand why he's doing that. There we go. Spark it up. Oh, OMG, really? I would have to reverse there. Okay, this might not happen, guys. Because I turned on simple parking doubles, but I didn't know it would still do that. And I'm not sure if it's because of this particular parking, this particular company, or if it's something that is because of this mod. I never understood that. How can you set up that simple parking thing? I always assume that if you have an articulated trailer, which is what we have, supposedly. Actually, that's a good question. Is this even an articulated trailer? Let's try. It's not. It's not. Okay, so it behaves just like a normal trailer. It's one of those other tandem options. It's not the one with the dolly. Okay, that's very good. That's very easy for me. Sorry, I didn't know that. Because it's actually the first time I'm driving this as well. So you see at the back, it's not doesn't have a dolly, so it actually behaves like a normal trailer would. So you turn it like how you would turn a normal trailer. Okay, that's beautiful. That's very easy to park. So this isn't actually classified as an articulated trailer. I like that. Although I guess that also means it's less flexible, less agile when it comes to the roads. But if it means it will give me much easier parking, then I'm good to go there. Let's load it up. Thank you. There we go. Alright. Cargo has been loaded. That is 17 tons of onions. And we are in Berlin right now, going to Duisburg. But we're not going to go through the entire route. We're just going to go to the highway and check it out a bit more. But before all that, let us jump into the vehicle browser so you can check out what different options are, not only for the truck but also for the trailer. So as you can see, there is no specific or separate truck for it. It is part of the Volvo FH16, the default SES truck, that one. But when you go here, you'll see that his icons are present. Yeah. And if you go here, you'll see that on top of the original chassis options, you get a gazillion options here. As I mentioned, how many? 53 different chassis. So if we just do that, okay, it doesn't really work. You cannot disable the SES default, but you can always choose it. Yeah, and as I mentioned, I am in 1.32, so it is compatible. But if you are still in 1.31, I think he also has a compatible version with it, and you can go all the way to a 10x6 setup, I believe. And the 10x4, the 10x6 has actually that amazing crane right there. I doubt it works, but it does look pretty cool, right? Actually, Alex shared a screenshot. So what you can do as well is you have this like 10x6 setup. There's even a long version of it. And then you buy a flatbed trailer. It looks so good, man. It looks so good. And then you load some heavy stuff on top. That is amazing. Or do some special transports. And you can also do a tandem setup, a rigid chassis. Yeah. What I chose, I think, was the tag lift. Yeah, with a steer. I guess that's a steerable axle, based on how that looks. And yes, you can raise that. That's a tag. And then you have up till 8x6. So many chassis options. And then engines. Engines, I think, are default. So if you have Krishbom's engine sound mod, then you are able to utilize that as well. Yeah, that also means that because this is a default SCS truck that he's modifying, if you download some of the other mods that modify the default SCS truck, it might come into conflict. Like, I don't know, Pendragon's Volvo FH. I think that might I'm not sure how compatible that is. I am expecting some of the parts might be mismatching. Okay, transmission is, I think, pretty default. Although one thing I would want to point out as well, because if you choose this chassis, if you choose any of the tandem chassis, you can't change the cab anymore, the cabin. So it's only the heavy duty version. You can't pick like a, not the Globetrotter version, you know, the low roof part. I was hoping to get the low roof and then maybe just get the spoiler, but this is the only one compatible for now. It's constantly work in progress, so we can expect a couple of improvements later on. Standard and exclusive, and as I mentioned, this gray interior is not part of the mod by default, so don't be surprised if you see that ugly default tan, or how do you call that, beige color. I hate that. But you can easily download this separate mod, and you can check out in the mods list. Look under, I can't remember, accessories. There is a Volvo dark interior mod from the Steam Workshop. It's completely compatible with this one. Yeah, paint jobs pretty standard. So all the paint jobs are compatible. If you have any DLCs, paint job DLCs, then that should be compatible here, I think. Most of them, at least, because this is part of the default SCS truck. So anything that is compatible with the heavy duty version, I think. Yeah. There, yeah. Now when it comes to the customizations, you can have a beacon in here for special transport, although if you have a tandem, a rigid like that, probably won't make much sense. The different light bars, sun visors, I think this is pretty standard. I don't see any. Actually, you know what, let's focus on the ones that is specifically coming from him, because they're probably familiar with the default tuning options already. So in here you have a couple of options with the grid. Yeah, different colors, different combinations, so pretty customizable there. And what else does he have? So yeah, it does not have a lot of options in here yet, but he says it's a work in progress. Here you can make that paint or plastic. Actually, maybe it's easier if I pick a different paint job, huh? If I pick that, yeah, to show a bit of the contrast between plastic and paint. Can make that paint as well. Even the side mirror here, very nice. Also this one, well, I think that's default. Okay, and then you can have side skirts in here, full or simple. And then here you can have all sorts of kinds of things. Water tank, rear tire, spare tire, a fire extinguisher, side skirts, painted or chrome box, you know, very customizable. I like it. Can change the fenders, and I think this is where he's planning on adding eventually. Right now there's only the curtain sider. I'm expecting there will be a lot more options in there, maybe tankers in the future even. Good. Even have an option of changing that, standard or exclusive. And you can have both sides. You can put a spare tire on the other side, a toolbox on one side. Yes, something like so. What else? The lights. You can also change the lights here if I remember correctly. Yeah, there. All right. Now tires and wheels, there is nothing new, but at least now here you have a tandem. And inside, what's new? You can change, you can add some stickers. Why do I? Oh, Volvo piece on Scania. Let's look at that on a bigger scale over here. I didn't get that initially. Okay, but if you like that, then whatever floats your boat, right? What else? What else? Okay, nothing there. There is one here, the one I showed earlier. That guy. Yeah, pretty cool actually. It's a bit low poly, so if you zoom in, you'll see the edges. But overall, when you're driving, it's nice to have something like that there. It's pretty unique. Good. What What else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. And it is compatible with the other DLCs, the other items that you have. There's no new curtain, right? Yeah. Yep, that's it. Oh, and there's an option for a stone guard as well. If you're doing some heavy haul, I guess. And depending on where you're planning to get your truck into for some role playing. So that's how the truck looks. In terms of the trailer dealer, so you'll see a new option in here. Standard, XBS, that's different, and Tandem, this is the one. Yeah, so there are currently 4 options. All of them are curtain siders, just different axle setup. Yeah, so pick which one you want. I think this one is raceable. Is that right? Yeah, looks like it. Actually, 2 of them are raceable. I wonder how that works. Interesting. So when you press, I think the default button is Y. Both of them race. I guess that's how it works. Actually, that's pretty interesting. And yeah, it's pretty empty here. But don't worry about that. Just go here and pick something. You can have either a front wall or a front door. And you can change that. Default paint jobs. Pick your truck, do a little bit of mix and match. Yeah, that's what I basically did. I do wish that the paint jobs for the rigid, the box and the rigid chassis was a bit more customizable. Like the paint jobs available here, I wish were also available there because I wanted a different color. Like I wanted like that one here, but right now it's not possible. Hopefully, it's an improvement for the future. And if you look at the textures here are much better than what you have there. Like if you see this curtain sider with all those lines, that looks so good, doesn't it? In here, if you compare that here, it's a bit too perfect, this one. It's a bit too smooth and shiny. So eventually, I hope he adapts the textures in the model there here, because that looks so good. Yeah. And from here, I think it's pretty much default tuning options that you have for a curtain sider. The only thing that's different would be that, how do you call that? If that's not a dolly, how do you call that then? But yeah, it's not articulated. So it's like you have a small trailer there. In terms of handling at least. Yeah. Okay, right. Good, that's good. That one I showed already. The lights, yeah, you know that by now. And with the latest build of 1.32, they added like a lot of tires, well, wheel options, rims. Although you can see some bugs still there in the beta. Not finalized yet, but it's good that they are adding the wheel tuning options in here too for the trailer. But that's not part of the mod, that's part of a different DLC, the wheel tuning pack. So let's not go through that. What else can you add? Spare tires? Yeah, I think this is pretty standard already. Yeah. Mud flaps. This one exclusive. Something like that, you get the picture, huh? Right. And in terms of performance, I won't go through it in detail anymore, but since this is coming from the default SCS truck, and he only adds a few parts, and the few parts that he adds does not really hurt performance, so you can expect basically SCS level performance here. So if you're driving an SCS truck, the Volvo FH, and it's pretty smooth, then you can expect this to be the same smoothness all over, right? Good. Now let's go for a quick drive. I do want to test this on the highway. So we'll be coming from Berlin. And just maybe stopping over here. Let's see. That might work. Little bit of show and tell. Okay, good. But yes, I like this. I like this. No dolly. And yes, I didn't show this before. The steering wheel actually animates as well. Very nice. Thank you. USB on the right. We're good. Yes, we are good. Let's see how that turns. I remember this was the, like before the articulated option came about, all the tandem setups that we had in ETS2 were like this. So yeah, you can see it's not very nimble. So I guess you sacrifice a bit of flexibility for easier parking basically. Man, I'll take that. I'll happily take that. Good. Why is my transmission weirding out? It's like it's getting confused which gear it should be in. Interesting. There's actually something that... Ooh, rip. How could you have gone through that fast inside the city? Maybe that guy was having a few too many beers. I'm happy to be in 1.32 again. I was in 1.31 because we were exploring pro mods. But I am missing the trailer ownership feature. I'm really torn now. I want to stay at 1.31 because I want pro mods, but I want to go to 1.32 because of all the new features. Like trailer ownership is my second most requested feature. I mean the second feature I wanted the most. The one at the top of my list is multi-drops, so it's a bit similar to trailer ownership as well, very related, right? But yeah, it's one of the features that I was really looking forward to, and I'm happy that as early as now, even while still in the beta, we already have RPIE giving us this beautiful mod here, and it's all free. All you have to do is register. Where's everybody? Why is there no one here in the road? I do have traffic settings. I do have traffic turned on, I think, right? Or do I? Yeah, we've seen a couple of vehicles already. Maybe it's off-peak. Not sure. Let's see how you behave here. Trailer stability for me should be at 0. Let's see how wobbly you are. Actually, you're pretty stable. Doesn't even wobble there. I'm looking at the side mirror. Not bad at all. I'm liking this one. I think I'll be keeping this setup. So if you are part of the Trucks Book, the VTC, the virtual trucking company we have, you can expect a couple of jobs from me, doing a lot of jobs with this truck here. I'm really liking it so much, and I think it's going to rain, and it might be time for me to go soon. But let's drive a bit to that gas station. I guess it's not that far off, and you can all appreciate the beautiful autobahns, the remade autobahns with 1.32. I'm sure this is one of those, because this looks like pro mods now. No longer part of that ugly fake 5 or 6 year old German roads before from the original ETS2 release. Don't speed please, stick to 80. Thank you. So you can expect as well a couple of maybe at least one silent trucking video with this one, and maybe another video with commentary. But I'll probably, I'll be experimenting with the different customizations available for this truck, definitely. Wow, that was a bit wild. Let's go and find some parking. Trailer is not bad. It's not very agile, but it's not bad. I mean, in this tight squeeze here, Yeah. Yeah, and as I say that, I hit something. No, that's just the curb, I think. Come on, please park. Alright, there, I see the rest area. Let's stop over there and we'll call it a video. There we go. Actually, let's test this out. Will the game actually let me sleep? Because usually when you have a tandem, it's harder to position yourself straight up. And it's very hard to... sometimes the game doesn't recognize that you can sleep already because your trailer is too much out of the way. So sometimes you have to detach first before you can sleep. Oh, actually this one is detected. That's nice. We're a bit squeezed in though, but yeah, I think the length is not bad. It's just right for this one. Cool. Alright, so that's one setup. Can definitely do a lot more tinkering with options here. But yes, that's how it looks. The Volvo FH2012 by RPIE. Go and check it out. I'm going to leave a link in the video description. Let me know what you think, and let me know when you do try it out if you do like it. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Have a nice day. Catch you in the next one. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, comment, share, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, have a nice day, and bye-bye. Clumsy Trucking.